Hey Cancer, thanks for visiting. This is your reading for August 27th to September the 2nd. And if you like this reading, please like or subscribe, as I always say, or leave a comment if you'd like to. I have everything ready, so I'm going to start your reading for lovely Cancer people. The first card you have your past is the Five of Pentacles, yes. Obviously this is about being left out, and I think that someone was actually shutting you out at this time. I'm also seeing sunken costs. I'm seeing sunken costs in this card. I know that's a business term, and I hope this is going to make sense, but I'll try to explain what I mean by that. I'm seeing that, you know, maybe you put some time, some effort, some energy into a relationship, and you'd put so much time, everything into this relationship, love, time, everything you had into this. Even money, maybe even money, because I'm seeing your coins, obviously pentacles. But then you were shut out by this person, and it was very, very hard for you. And you could have been thinking that, you know, I put so much time in this. We spent so much time together. I put so much work into this, so much time into this, that, you know, I can't leave. I really should stay. I put so much in. It's like I've invested a whole lot into this, and I really shouldn't leave this. But, you know, that's no reason to stay, especially if this person's really cutting you out or shutting you out or hurting you. And I'm seeing that you were really hurt at this time. So, you know, it was like you had already put this work in. No matter what was going to happen, no matter what happened, you weren't going to get this work back, or this money, or this energy, or this love, or anything that you put in. And so why stay if you're miserable, especially if someone's really shutting you out and making you feel horrible? So yes, I'm seeing that there was probably a very slow ending to this. It was very, very slow. You put a lot in, you didn't want to leave, your heart was still in there, but you knew that, you know, if you're being shut out, if you're being shut out emotionally, if you're being hurt, if you're being ignored, whatever these things were, that's the start of things coming to an end, and there was nothing you could do about it. And no matter what you had put into that in the past, you weren't going to get that back. There was no point in throwing more and more and more into this. You couldn't keep putting more effort in. It made no sense. It was like, this would be like throwing money at the Titanic while it was sinking. There's no point, it's sinking. And I think deep down you knew that, but you thought, oh no, we've been through so much together, you know, we've done this together, and we have such a long history, and I've done this, and I've helped them, and blah, blah, blah. You're not going to get that back. And, you know, there's no point in me telling you this, because I know this is in your past, and I can see that this was probably coming to an end anyway, and I think deep down you knew that. But your heart wasn't ready for that to happen. That's what I was seeing. So the next card you have your past is the Chariot. So yes, there was a part of you that really didn't want to move on, I'm seeing, but you knew that you had to. You couldn't do anything about this. It was almost like, you know, you had to force yourself to move on, and you were trying to protect your heart. You were trying to protect your heart, because deep down your heart didn't really want to move on, but it had to move on. And it was like your mind knew that you had to move on, and it was trying to kind of push your heart along in this chariot and kind of push it along down the road. And maybe your heart was kind of trying to jump out and say, no, I want to go back, and you're kind of trying to push yourself along. But you knew that you had to do that. And you knew that your heart was going to catch up with your mind eventually. It was just going to take time. And I think you were still reeling over how much you'd put into this, because really you put more in than they did. You put a lot more in than they did, and they really didn't show you any gratitude or anything like that, especially if they were really cutting you out. So yes, the last card you have for your past is Judgment. So yes, you're going through some really, really big changes at this time, and maybe this situation where someone left you, or whether this was ending, or whatever this was happening, yes, this was forced onto you. I'm seeing that your heart didn't want this situation to end, but it was forced onto you by someone cutting you out or leaving you out or something like that. And so you just had to put an end to it, even though your heart didn't want to do that. Yes, it had to happen. It had to happen. I'm sorry to say that it had to happen. You might still be going through this process because I am seeing a slow ending to something. But, you know, judgment is final. Judgment is always final. There's no coming back from that. And I think you knew that. The first card you have, if you're present, is the Page of Swords. So yes, you could still be going through a lot of this heartache. This is something that it just takes time. There's nothing you can do about it. It just takes time. I keep on seeing this fight between your heart and your head. And, you know, you want to be free. You want to be free from feeling this way. And your head's kind of doing everything it can to kind of fight this horrible feeling of heartache. You just want to be free from this heartache. There's a flock of birds next to this page's head. And so you're thinking about freedom. You're thinking about having your freedom from this horrible heartache. And, you know, all I can say is that it will end. It will end. It's just going to take time. And I think obviously you were with this person for a long time, or you'd put a lot into this. I was seeing that. And so that is a very difficult situation to kind of move on from. It's only going to take time. That's all I can say. I'm also seeing someone around you, probably in your workplace or around something work related. I'm actually seeing someone who complains. They complain a lot. And I'm seeing this person complaining at the wrong time for you, because what I'm seeing is you're going to come into work, or you're coming into work. You're already going through this big heartbreak. You're trying to get over this, and you're kind of saying to yourself, right, I have to go to work. I have to be professional. I have to not be all over the place emotionally. I have to kind of put my face on, stand up, do my work. But really, I do not need any stress. I really don't need any more stress. I need to get all the energy I can to do my work. So you're coming to work, here's this person complaining. And I'm just seeing you saying to yourself, this is really what I need. This is the last thing I need. This person who comes and says, oh, this is wrong. And I just think what's happening is you're just snapping at them. You're just snapping at them. You really are. And you're not normally like this. You're not normally like this. But this person just came along and did this at the wrong time, or they're going to do this, or they are already. This is in your present. And I am seeing this person getting a shock, actually. They're getting a shock. And yes, you don't know. I'm not seeing you yelling and screaming, but you might just snap at them. And they are going to get a shock because you're not normally like that. But yes, they probably deserved it, actually. It might actually stop them from doing this. The next card you have here present is the High Priestess. So yes, this is about you. The High Priestess is about, you know, spirituality, thought, knowledge, finding your higher being, your higher knowledge, that kind of thing. I'm seeing you kind of wanting to be alone at this time. Not physically. You're not going to be alone physically, or you're not alone physically. You're kind of alone in your mind, and that's how you want to be. Now, some people around you at this time are going to be thinking you're kind of a bit aloof, or a bit snooty, or a bit snobby or something, or you don't want to speak to them. And you're not like that. Of course you're not like that. You just really need that time in your head, that space in your head to kind of get through this. And you know, I'm seeing that if you do this, and this is what you are doing, you're going to get stronger. It's going to help you to get stronger. It is difficult processing all of this, and it takes time. It takes a long time. You might even be meditating. I hope you are doing that. It sounds trivial, taking some time out by yourself. It sounds like, why are you telling me this? But a lot of people don't do this when they're getting over heartbreak. They try to rush around and keep themselves busy and stop themselves from thinking about it. Some people even go into new relationships straight away so that they feel fine. But what they're doing is really burying this. They're burying this under the carpet. And it kind of, if you do that, it kind of surfaces at some time. And so you're not doing that. You're taking the braver route. Now, there's nothing wrong with, I'm not meaning they're a coward. I mean, there's nothing wrong with kind of keeping yourself busy. But eventually you do have to go through this to get stronger in yourself. And you're brave. You're doing this. You're going to get stronger in yourself. And you are going to be a lot more confident. And this is really preparing yourself. It's preparing yourself for the next chapter in your life. It's going to take time, this, and it's not going to be easy, but you are going to get stronger out of this time. The last card you have here present is the Queen of Wands. So yes, strength, you are getting stronger. It's taking time, but you are getting there. And this is really helping you. I'm also seeing that you're wanting to really clear out your life at this time. I'm seeing that you're really kind of saying to yourself, you know, what do I need in my life and what don't I need in my life? I'm going to have a clear out. I want to really change my life. I want things to be different. I want to feel different. I want my environment to feel different. So you might be actually cutting out some people. It sounds really harsh and horrible, but you have had some people around you who weren't really supporting you properly. I'm specifically seeing one person. I'm looking at the cat in this card, and I'm specifically seeing one person who comes around you, or they came around you when they needed something, but then when you needed something from them, they were never there, and you were always having to do all the running, all the chasing for them. It's just like, you know, when a cat, when you have a cat and they come to you when they want food, or they come to you when they want to sit on you, but if you want them, they're kind of wandering around and they kind of look at you like, what do you want me for? I don't want to come near you. That kind of thing. So these people don't really support you. This one specific person certainly doesn't. There are some others as well. So you're going to be kind of, or you are already, you're kind of at least distancing yourself from those people. You're choosing not to be around those people. You're only going to be around people who are going to support you and really, really properly be there for you. So the first card you have for your future is the King of Swords. So yes, here's the king sitting high up on his hill, and he can see everything in front of him, and he has his sword up as well ready. So this is about you again. You're still going through this process. You're getting rid of people who aren't there for you, who aren't supporting you. You're up there, you're looking at everything in your life. You're going to be examining everything, and you're going to be saying, right, I can see that over in that corner over there, that goes, that in that corner over there, that stays. I can get this out. I might need a new this comes in. And also this person who's really showing me that they're kind of using me, or they're not there for me, or they don't really care properly. I'm not going to bother spending time with them. They're out. But this person can stay. This person's special. They can stay. So that's what you're doing. You're up on your hill. You can see everything around you. You're kind of looking at what you want in, what you want out. You're also guarding yourself. You have your sword up. So if anyone who isn't kind of really on your side comes toward you, you've got your sword up, and you'll say, well, no, sorry, next. You're guarding yourself. That's what you're doing. The next card you have, your future, is the Five of Cups. So yes, I'm seeing two things in this card. I'm seeing, you know, when you're really simplifying your life, and you're renewing things, and you're renewing people and all sorts of things like that. It's a good time. Like it's a really good time to kind of do this, to clear things out. It can also be a sad time, because this involves people, and even some people who aren't there for you, who don't really care for you properly, sometimes there can be things about them that you miss. You might be missing, you know, some little things they say. Some people are really fun to be around, but they're just there when the party's there, and when you have difficulties, they're not there. So, you know, you might miss those fun times with some people. So, you know, at this time, you're probably just looking back, you're thinking about different people, and you're thinking, well, I do miss some things about people, but I need to be self-preserving here, so I can't have those people around. So it's kind of bittersweet. You're kind of thinking about, you know, you miss some things at this time. I'm also seeing with this card that there might be someone coming back to you. They might be thinking of contacting you again. And this is probably this person in the Five of Pentacles. They are going to eventually, probably not at this time in your future, but maybe at some time further into your future down the road, they're going to come back, and they're going to come and try and open up the conversation with you again. But really, I don't think you're going to let them back in. I really, really don't. I think by the time they come, you're going to be you're already stronger by now. So by the time they come, you're going to be so strong, and you're going to be saying, no, you're the last person I'm going to let in. You're not going to let them in. And yes, it's going to be way too late. Way too late by the time they come back. They are coming back. The last card you have, your future, is the Two of Pentacles. So yes, this person's going to come back to you, and they're going to come back to you at a time when they're feeling really unstable, really up and down in their emotions. I'm not getting the feeling that they're doing this because they actually do miss you. I just think, I mean, I know that sounds horrible, but that's what I'm seeing. This is realistic. They are just really going to be up and down in their emotions. They're not going to know themselves. They're going to be all over the place, really unbalanced, and they're going to be grasping at things that are going to try and make them feel better. And they might be trying different people, different things, all sorts of kind of things to make themselves feel better. And you're going to be one of these things that they're going to try. But you're going to say no to them. I'm seeing that because you're going to be very well balanced. You're going to be the opposite of them. They're out, or they're going to be completely out of balance, coming up to you, wanting to see you again, and you're going to say no. You are going to say no to them. You're going to be really strong, and you're going to be totally in balance. That's what I'm seeing. So Cancer, I hope this resonated. As you know, general readings can't always resonate with everyone. But again, if you like this reading, please like or subscribe, or leave a comment if you'd like to. And thank you so much for watching.